Hi, Assalamu alaikum. Here is your English teacher, Noor Uzma, with the topic Literary Terms Part 2. Let me tell you what we are going to cover in this part 2. We will cover some of the literary writing techniques like simile and metaphor, settings, mood, characters, tone, and at the end, we will talk about plot. Let us begin with the word simile. I really find that word very cute. Simile. A simile is a comparison. What is it? It is a kind of comparison of what? Of two things that are directly compared, and as or like is usually used to compare. This is the easiest definition that I could find. For example, the ocean was like a magic carpet for him. The word like shows that the writer has used a simile. There is a comparison between ocean and the magic carpet. Ocean is compared with magic carpet with the use of the word like. In the second sentence, he was slow like a snail. His slow speed is compared with the snail, with the help of the word like. And in the third sentence, look at this. His room was as bare as a prison cell. The size of the room is being compared with the prison cell by using as. So wherever the writer uses the comparison with the help of as or like, it will be called simile. Let me give you a very famous example, like a diamond in the sky, like a diamond. The star is compared with a diamond that is usually shines in the sky. So the word like shows that the writer has used simile. Metaphor. It is also a comparison, but with a little difference. A metaphor also compares two things, but it does it more directly, means without using as or like. I repeat, without using as or like. For example, the shop was little gold mine. No, there is no use of like or as, okay? The ocean was a thin streak of blackish blue. The writer has directly called the ocean a thin streak of blackish blue. So there is no room for using as or like, hence it will be called our metaphor. I repeat again the difference between simile and metaphor. In simile, comparison is made with the use of like or as, whereas in metaphor, a direct comparison is being made. Challenge. What kind of challenge? Simile or metaphor? Means your challenge today is to recognize the difference between a simile and metaphor. Can you do that? Let's wait for the other slide. Here are certain examples. Look at this. He was a lion in battle. Simile or metaphor? I can hear your voice, but you have to tell me by making a comment down in the comment box. Number 2, as slippery as an eel. Simile or metaphor? Number 3, she is as pretty as a picture. Number 4, the clouds were fluffy like cotton wool. Give me your answers in the comment box. Let's see who's gonna win the race. Number 3, setting. What is a setting? Setting is when and where the story takes place. It helps building the background location and create image in mind of the reader. It helps set the tone and mood of the story. It could be in the jungle, in a big city, beside the sea, on the farm, in the village, wherever it is, the writer has to use carefully. He should have a very wise choice of word that should depict the actual picture of the situation or the background he wants to show to the reader. He wants to create in the minds of the reader. It could be about past, future, or present time. And after reading the initial description, the writer should know which time frame the writer is talking about. Now I'm asking you a question. Can you tell me, where does the story of James and the Giant Peach open? Give me your answer in the comment box. I'll be waiting. Very, very important element. These are the characters. Without characters, no story, no novel can sustain. Can it be? Who are the characters? Characters are the performers. They could be people, animal, or any imaginary creature like monsters or mermaids. And it contains two types of characters. One type is called protagonist. Protagonist is the literary name of the hero or the good guy. And there comes another type, that is antagonist. Antagonist is the second name of villain or the bad guy. Can you tell me who is good and bad character in the novel James and the Giant Peach? I know that suddenly bad characters come in your mind. Do tell me in your comment box. Let me ask you, how is your mood today? Someone will say happy, someone will say sad, some will say depressed, some will say I'm feeling naughty. So mood is basically the feeling of someone. They can also be found in the piece of literature or writing. Let me tell you that mood or atmosphere is the feeling created in the reader by a literary work or passage. Writers use many devices to create mood, including images, dialogues, settings, and plot. Often a writer creates a mood at the beginning of a work and then sustains the mood throughout. Sometimes, however, the mood of the work changes dramatically. Dramatically means at once. When we were reading James and the Giant Peach, in the first paragraph, the mood of the writer was really very good. James was having very happy life with his parents, and dramatically in the very next paragraph, suddenly a bad thing happens, an accident happens, and mood suddenly changes from happy to sad and depressed. And writer kept on keeping the mood of depression by the end of chapter number 1, when James was getting sadder and sadder day by day. Look at these two pictures. Can you describe the moods? In the first picture, when they are having their mouth open, we can see their teeth and the facial expression. They would say that they are happy. What about the next one? Again, the mouth is open. Again, the teeth can be seen. But what else? What else are the expressions that are leading us towards describing that it is something else? Can you tell me? Tell me in the comment box. Tone is also an important element. The way you speak to someone, it really matters. So same goes with the writing too. Hence, tone, the manner in which writer or written words might be said. For example, sarcastic or taunting, hateful or contemptuous, witty means very wise, angry could be furious. Tone is different from mood in that a story typically has one mood, whereas tone can change a lot throughout a story. Trust me, really. In the near future, we are going to have some practice when reading a piece of paper or piece of literature in which we will evaluate how the tone changes. These are the words that describe tone. Usually these are amused tone, humorous tone, pessimistic, angry, informal, playful, cheerful, ironic, witty, horrifying, light, sad, matter of fact, serious, formal, suspicious, gloomy, optimistic. These are the tones, these are the words that describe tone. Got it? A very, 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 very important element in a story or a novel that is called plot. What is plot? Plot is a series of events that make up a story. Plots have 5 main parts that always take place in the same order. Order should be kept in mind of the reader. Like it should have a beginning where exposition or the setting and the characters are introduced. Then comes the point of rising action, that is usually the middle of the story. And just after is there is a climax. Climax is the most exciting part or the peak of the story. After climax, here comes falling action and then the resolution, that is the end of the story. It is the outline of the story basically. And it functions just as a skeleton in a human body. Do you think so? Without a skeleton, a human body can stand straight? No, not at all. A skeleton keeps our body well shaped. In the same way, the plot keeps the story well knitted. Mind it, mera beta, you are not supposed to forget it and its importance. Let us recap the topics that we have covered so far in the both part 1 and part 2. We started our lesson, our topic with the word genre, its meaning, and then a few types of genre, and then we discussed difference between fiction and non-fiction, and then in fiction we talked about fantasy fiction, and then we talked about the literary terms or techniques that usually writer uses. It is simile and metaphor, setting and characters, mood and tone, and then at the end we talked about the plot. At the end, my dear students, I would say clearly that there are only 2 options. Only 2 options in your life: make progress or make excuses. Let's see, which option do you choose? Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.